I told you I'm messing with his mind, and it looks like it's working well. Well, I'm going to come in and fiddle with his crane and show him how it works. And then he's going to start to think, who's messing with the toys? Well, apart from messing with the toys, I'm messing with his mind. Let me fix things up here. A frippin' 3-year-old could work out how to play with this toy, but not this goose. He knows nothing. I've always said that he knows nothing. Crikey, that was hard. Now I can't get my hands off the hook. And just like before, I'll leave him a little note so we can keep messing with his mind. I love sitting up here watching what goes on when this goose comes in and realises he's made a big mistake. As far as I can see, it's Elf 1 and Idiot Toy Reviewer none. I said right from the start, this guy's a goose and he makes out he knows everything. Well, guess what? He knows nothing. Did you hear that? He knows nothing!
Warning. This video is made for a general audience. It may contain adult themes, consumer advice, and information that can be enjoyed by all ages. I need to say this because, sadly, the YouTube systems are totally dumb ass.
I've come down to my workshop here to do a tidy up after doing a adult toy review of the toys that are on the turntable there. And it's weird, it looks like someone's busted into Carly's crane and it looks like a little message there. I don't like it. We're living in some very strange times, and let me come along and deal with what's going on right there. First up, I'll get Carly back up on her feet, like so. What I initially thought was damage to the crane section here, oh my goodness me, it actually is a play feature I totally missed when I did the review. Mind you, I don't think the instructions spoke anything about this, and I couldn't see any pictures, but what's most disturbing is this here. I had a note when I did the review as well. What does this one say? You know nothing. Did you hear that? That happened last time I had one of these stupid notes. This is absolutely doing my head in. I don't like stuff like this. It's very, very disturbing. Anyway, maybe let's take a look at Carly with the fully featured crane. I already liked this 3-pack before I understood the full features of Carly's crane. Now that we see the full features, well, maybe I like it even more. And I'm feeling like I'm doing something twice over here, because I showed this before, but this time with the crane fully extended, and that piece goes on there, and it will actually give us a totally new height. And I go like that. That is if the end piece doesn't want to droop over. Its end position is a droopy crane, but if I just go in a touch it will remain rigid. Let me put a ruler onto this. I hope my memory's good here. I think it was 110 before. It looks like we're punching up to about 115 millimeters, that is, so it's a little bit taller, and if I do imperial I'm going to struggle here. It looks like we're getting up to 4.5 inches. Carly's boom at full extension with the droop does look very similar to the metal engine Carly, or some people like to say push along. They look like two twin crane trains there. The metal engine Carly is actually awesome, but I've always said I think it's set at the wrong price, and that's why people are possibly leaving this behind. It's often a peg and shelf sitter, this one. Also, I've noticed here with Thandy the Ralph beater, hopefully I can get Thandy to hook on here and we can have a lot more fun and get things moving, and it's going to be fantastic to watch. I don't watch the show, so I don't understand the relationship between Carly and Sandy here. I'm not going to watch the show because I really don't need to know the relationship between these two, but maybe when we see them playing like this, we can have a lot more adult fun, can't we, YouTube? Carly's actually going quite well, considering she's got Thandy on the front there. Looks sort of cool, I like it like that. Looks very cool. I'll just try and slow up the action here a bit so you can wrap your eyes around what you're seeing there. Actually like that, I like it a lot. Looks like a lot of fun. As it comes around this time, I'll just try and manipulate Carly's arm, and this is the problem. This is not loose. on this section here. I'm going to have to stop this. This is going to get clunky, and it's actually very tight to turn. This movement is fine and easy, but to move the crane around, it's not an easy job. It's like an interference fit in the top of Carly, and I can only assume that Carly would pick Thandy up and possibly, I don't know, put Thandy there. Let's give it a run like this. We can have all the fun of the fair playing like this, I'm sure. Off they go. There you go. You don't see that on YouTube every day, I can assure you. That little flat car's a little bit derailed, but hey, sometimes that's all the fun. And we're going backwards now. I don't exactly know why. Oh, now we're speeding up. Come on. Show us how it works. Please, Carly, please. Okay, she's picked up a bit of speed and she's over in the back there. Oh, okay, there she goes. Phew. Again, it's all the fun of the fair, isn't it? I like it. I like it a lot. I'll just get a slower pass here, but you know, I'll say slower pass and all of a sudden it want to tear off at high speed. I think the trains hear what I say and they do the exact opposite. It's a little bit like dealing with the kittens. And there goes a copyright strike for me. I've got the maestro on the piano upstairs. I'll come in and turn it off and I'll set up another scenario. So yeah, I want to make a really clear point here. This is not easy to turn. It's an interference fit into the top of Carly, which stops it from just coming out. Let's see if we can do a run. Oh, is it going to do it? If we have it all set to the side, or is it going to be a total train wreck? I'm going to try and give this a run. It may fail, but I'd like to see what works and what doesn't work. I'm not sure how long that's going to last before we have a train wreck. And I can see Sandy's actually dragging on the turntable. I'm actually scared to turn the camera off because I'm not sure when it's going to go tipsy. Or should I say arse up? That's how adults say it. YouTube, they say arse up. Oops. Can't be a kid's video now, can it? How sad. I'll see if I can speed up Carly here and get a bit of action. And Sandy's off. I mean, Carly's off. I keep getting these two mixed up. Over the back there. Doing okay. I'm actually quite surprised. And once again, you don't see that on YouTube every day. Thank God, hey? Although now the turntable's stopped, it's getting very tipsy. But I've got no command on this. I don't know when it's going to go wrong. Oh, it just went wrong there. That was a train wreck. I'm not sure how well that was seen. I'm not sure what focus department the camera was playing with. Maybe I can give it a run on. If I do a run on the inner rail, we'll get a different dynamic because it's going to be totally different there, isn't it? Either be a different dynamic or a train wreck. And now we see Fandy dragging on the rails. Seemingly feels like it's going faster, but it's a smaller radius in there. And if I try and slow up the action here, you get a feel for what it looks like. Cool. I would definitely say this is a 3-pack to have. Don't let it sit on the shelves, and I don't make any money from saying that. Just remember that. I'm a totally free agent. Yep. It's fun, this one. Especially when you start to understand its full playability, unlike the original review. Okay, yeah. Have I sold you on this one? I don't want it sitting on the shelves. I want this one to be a good sellout. Well, Mattel love me for that. Imagine the money they're going to give me. Cough, cough. What a frippin' joke, hey? Yeah. It's good, and I dare say you could also play shenanigan games, and this really goes on one way because of the way it's keyed. You could play the same sort of weirdo games going on the back here. Let's have a bit of a play here. Actually, you can't do much at all. Because of that keying aspect to this, and it is an interference fit. I would like to have turned this around to some other angle of the dangle, but it doesn't want to do it because it's really a one-way thing. Missed opportunity. Again. Just thinking outside the square, as children do. I used to like doing toy reviews with my children because they used to show me how to play. I would dare not bring my children into a review now on YouTube because I'm going to get smacked down by the system that is there to destroy you. And it's really sad that my partner is my enemy on this site. It's just really sad to say that. I never thought that would happen. Let's give this a spin and see what happens. Okay, on the way, Fandy basically playing normal rail there in a sense, just on the tracks. The hook piece is not doing much at all, apart from just hovering there, and it's basically just getting pushed along. But I know when children play with things like this, they just set up anything that looks funky and is fun. They've got no limitations to their imagination, unlike us boring adults. And just getting the other flip side view of this, as it's on the tighter radius there, and it's going to come around and probably tear past camera at stupid speed. Okay, so we're having fun. Let me do a bit of a historical backwards look at things, because I like to go backwards in time. It's good to go backwards in time because then you start to realise that the bad old days actually weren't that bad. It's always curious to take a look back in time at the Thomas and Friends toys, and we don't have to go too far back in time to see other things that make you rethink what we see today. I'll just put this up here as well, and this is all my motorized Trackmaster 2 things in here. There's a lot of memories in here for some people, and I'm just going to take a look at this engine here. This is Harvey. It's a tank engine with a crane attachment on top. Harvey is actually based from a real choo-choo in the real realm of railways. The crane attachment on top moves through 180 degrees. I'm just going to do it very quickly here to show you. And when you look at Harvey, you say, well, this makes sense. As a rescue vehicle, which could be added to Thomas All Engines Go, you ask, why isn't it? Yet we've left with Carly, who is basically like Cranky being put on the rails. That's what's happened with Carly. Carly somehow transformed from being a crane at the docks to a crane on the rails. Silly ideas like Carly are good for reinventing a wheel that we basically already had. Obviously Harvey was a little bit too old-fashioned looking to be playing in Thomas All Engines Go. There is another crane I'd like to show you, and it relates to a set of twins, although in the Trackmaster 2 format we only had one of them released. I hope there's only one released, and that was Jerome. Let's put Jerome up onto the tracks here and have a good hard look at this. Okay, Jerome, it did come in a 3-pack. It's nicely detailed. I can't remember the engine it came with. Let me move Carly out of the way because she's distracting me. It's got some nice articulation. I never realised the jib did this. Maybe I totally forgot to point that out back in the day, but hey, I'm pretty good at forgetting things. You can release the hook. If you want to, you can lift off the piece here to put on the rails to say that you're working in rescuing a train. So what we're going to do is perform a rescue, because it's going to show you how good Jerome is, let's say, versus what Carly can and can't do. Now see the way this moves nice and smoothly. Very nice action on this. It's very realistic as well, so it's mimicking what happens on real railways. And we're going to come along and oops, Fandy the stupid flipper has crashed, so we're going to hook onto her and we're going to rescue her and get her back on the tracks like so. See that? That's how it works. And she can just quickly buzz away, and then we can pack ourselves away as well if we stay on track. We can spin around like this, and we can put our hook up, and we can get, you can make sounds as well if you want. But it's a really, really nice piece, and it's just so different to what we get these days. And getting our heads around a dedicated breakdown train may give us an insight into why Carly's a little bit troublesome to sell. It's food for thought, and what I'm going to do is I'll do a chalk and cheese thing. I'll configure Carly with her boom on. Okay, like this. I'll have it extended, like I didn't show before. And what I'm going to do is get Carly to power around the Jerome, the breakdown doodah, and I'll need 2 hands to do this mince up here. It's going to be a crazy mashup and also a nightmare for the camera because we've got something really bright and we've got something which is of a darker tone, and it just looks really strange when you set something like that up. And maybe from seeing this strange mashup we see all the things that are right and wrong with Thomas & Friends All Engines Go. I suppose between those two there, which one is your eye going towards? And maybe another way of saying it is, which one of those two can't you ignore? I know which one I keep looking at in those two there. I wonder if you're the same. It's all very interesting indeed, and I will just stop colour here. Let me take a look at the boxing that this toy came in again. As I pointed out in the other video, in this 3-pack here, Muddy Fix 'em Up Friends, there's nowhere on this box that discusses names of the characters in this box. It's not on the top, it's not anywhere underneath, and all that blabble there. If we look on the rear side, we do get a picture of the 2 characters in the box. So it's nice, it's a 2-character set, but nowhere does it read or tell you anything about the characters or how they play, blah blah blah. Let me just gently get the instructions out of this carton here, and if I'm really gentle I'll get them out. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. There we are. Okay, let's just have a quick look at this piece of paper right here. Because I'm male, I rarely ever look at constructions. Been a long time since I've said that word, hasn't it? I'm just going to open this up. It's actually quite a big document, I feel. It's got a split here. Let me get this opened up properly. Actually, we'll look at this side first before we go any further. We've got basically instructions how to put batteries in the trains in every frickin' language there. But it's only showing a generic Thomas, so it's a generic piece of information there that would be across basically every playset. We go, my God, there's every language in the world there. Talking about accessing how to get the batteries in. Nothing about the toy that was in the box in the sense of the blame. My God, what is this? This is battery safety information. My God, it's almost like complete and utter madness. You need the Rosetta Stone to work all that out. But my point here is that nothing on this at all, just look at the other side, show you the whole document, nothing here relates back to the toy apart from basically putting the batteries in and boring battery safety. Do you ever mince around with Google Translate? It's an app that you can put on your phone. I'm going to make it have a meltdown. I'm just going to let it peruse some of the languages on this sheet here. It's taking a look at what's on the page there, and I'm pretty sure it'll go into meltdown. Yep, there it goes. Gone in the total meltdown. It's not the only thing that goes in the total meltdown looking at what's written on that page. I suppose this information sheet just forms a basic minimum legal requirement for flogging these toys in all these different countries. I'll do the right thing and put this away neat and tidy. I'll take a look at one last thing with Carly and the hook, which is now out of its reclusive area. I'm wondering whether I can get an engine to hook onto the hook here. It will do, like that. Can I get Percy to run in front of Carly, which is what people will be doing if I want to have fun. Can't have too much fun or else you get flagged off the site now. Let's see how long this lasts, or will we have a train wreck? Okay, well, it's off on its way. Not sure how long it's going to last. Percy wants to come flipping off. It's sort of doing okay. Carly's a little bit hesitant up the back there, but coming around and picking up a bit of speed now. There you go. Another thing you just do not see on YouTube every day. Thank goodness, eh? A few people were saying to me I unboxed a factory error with the Percy and the funnel to the side. I'm pretty sure the military grade rubber chicken did the damage. They're dangerous things in the wrong hands. And what I am disappointed with, and I'll just let this get by, is the Sandy that I unboxed here. It's actually got just low printing on those top windows and also the side window. So maybe it would have been nicer to keep it in box, eh? Okay, we'll take a look at the fail reel next.
It's so flippin' heavy. Come on, chicken. Ah! Why don't my arms work when they want to? Ah! Quiet. Take three. This is some of my best work to date. When this fool comes in to review, oh, flippin' hell, I can't talk today. What is it with me? Have I got a problem? He's gonna freak out at the little message I have in the rubber chicken's beak. He's gonna really have a... Oh, I had just had a coughing fit. It was COVID. That's some of my best work to date. When this fool come and go, can't I say a simple sentence anymore? What's wrong with me? And when this fool comes in to do this review, adult style of course, I must be coming down with something really bad. It's time to play. I totally forgot what I was meant to say. When this fool comes in to do a review, oh frippin' hell! I meant to say adult. You gotta say adult or else YouTube will take out this video. This guy knows nothing, and I'm gonna make sure he knows he's being watched by me.
What I'm going to do is aim for the cargo car there. These military rubber is frippin'. We'll just ponder at the beauty of this 3-pack. It's Terry. Frippin'. Why am I saying Terry? I should have said Perthy. Let's say if we had a different character apart from Percy. I always think Percy's over. Fripp, I can't talk today. I am sick, so obviously it's affecting my mouth. Just as a bizarre I remember the playset, and I've actually totally had a freaking mental blank. It doesn't help, does it?
I told you I'm messing with his mind, and it looks like it's working well. Well, I'm going to come in now, and I'm going to really play havoc if the camera stays in focus. A flippin' 3-year-old could work this thing out. I've just got to get this crane out a bit, and then we'll show him how this thing really works. That's on the fibre. Let me get this back up on the tracks. And now I'm stuck. I can't get my hands off the hook. My arms went a little bit wild there. Let's do another one. The note and hook there is gonna frickin' flip.
I'm pretty sure I totally failed to see that when I did the frippin' Carly's gone over again, so we can But Harley's really nothing like Carly, because Carly's like a Cranky that's all of a sudden on the tracks. This is a dedicated... If I could hold something, it'd be really, really cool. And we can play, like, you know, the way things really play. We can get Thandy back on the tracks, thought of. And we can come along and connect up to Thandy the stupid slipper. And we can rescue like this, get Thandy back on the tracks. And we can basically pack ourselves up again. And we've lost our thing to... Oops, Thandy just crashed again, but that's Thandy for you. Okay, and get Percy like that. This is going to either be a train wreck or it's going to work. And after we look at this, we'll go to a fail reel. Which, oops. A few people were saying that I unboxed... Oh, frippin'... I know I had a coffee cup on the table here. It may have been a big mistake doing that. It's a McCafe coffee cup, so it's associated with McDonald's, and some people perceived it was there as paid placement. Please, just understand this. I don't go there. It's a very dark realm once you start going down that avenue, and the only reason why this was here is because at my local McDonald's, there's an artist there, and he draws pictures like that on the top of the coffee cups, and I'm just wondering if anyone else around the world gets that sort of service. Maybe the thing that pisses me off is if you're going to do artwork at McDonald's on the coffee cups, at least sign it, because who knows, you may be the next Banksy, and this coffee cup could be worth $1 million in a couple of years' time. Anyway, it made for some very nice Google review photographs against the McDonald's restaurant who has the artist who is serving the coffee.